Hello, this is Lori Michelle with an Ask the Moshiach question today. Does science and the theory of evolution dispel the story of God's creation? It's a question that's been asked for thousands of years. And maybe you're not happy yet with the answer. So today, I'm going to tackle it. I had a conversation last night with Hashem, and it was prompted by a question, actually two questions that were emailed to me. The first question was, were there truly dinosaurs? And the second question was, is the earth flat? So I'll answer those questions and then talk about science and evolution and how it all squares with God and the story of creation. The first thing is, dinosaurs indeed did exist, and the earth is round. It's not flat. There's a lot of theories online and people trying to dispel the science that says the earth is a sphere. He says it's a sphere. Looks flat to me sometimes. Sometimes I run uphill and it doesn't feel so flat. But in general, I don't see the curve in the earth until you see photos from outer space. And I don't watch those conspiracy theories or those videos on YouTube. I talk to Hashem. And frankly, whether the earth is flat or round is irrelevant to me. It's all from him. It's all on purpose. And I trust him. The design of the world is perfect because he designed it. And he says the earth is a sphere. And I'm just going to leave it at that. The dinosaurs prompted a whole conversation about creation and how old dinosaurs were compared to the story of creation. And that led to this Q&A today, this Ask the Moshiach question of, does science and the theory of evolution dispel God's creation, the story of God's creation, the earth and everything that it contains, the heavens and the earth, everything was created in 6 days. And he rested on the seventh day, Shabbos, which I take very seriously. You won't get me on the phone on the seventh day. So is it true? Is the story of creation true? Is the story of evolution true? What's true? The truth is tricky. And a lot of rabbis have tried to tackle this information. And for religious people who believe in the Torah or the Bible, they just accept it, blind faith. Oh, okay. But I'm inquisitive, so I wanted really to understand, how could this be? Recently in Israel, in the Jerusalem Post, I read, they found a basket that was 10,000 years old. And so the comment thread was interesting. Oh, there you go. 6 days of creation. Yeah, ha. We're only 5,781 years into creation. Well, what about this? So it gives the atheists and the scientists fodder to make fun of people like me or you who believe in God and the story of creation. Here's his explanation. And I hope this helps you, because it really helps me. And I don't really care. I know he's real. I talk to him all the time. All of that is just extra to me. He's real. I'm telling you the truth. I talk to him day and night. Nothing happens without his involvement. So getting back to 6 days, 6 million years, 6 billion years, we are physical human beings, and we operate on a 24-hour day. He doesn't. When you're trying to figure out things about where they come from, and you look at a thing, anything, and you're deciding about the evolution and the source of what you're looking at, The king of the universe says, you're doing it backwards. It's ass backwards, people. This is the furthest, most outer edge of creation. Creation starts with him, non-physical energy, and he is everywhere, and he's in control of everything, and there's nothing bigger, smarter. Smart, the word smart doesn't even cover it. He's calm, he's in charge, and he knows everything. So to make a determination about the 6 days of creation, which is a story that came from capital H-I-M, the king of the universe, because something is 10,000 or 10 million years old, is ass backwards. But I'll go further for you and help you to understand that he's timeless, he's energy, and this doesn't come into being without him saying, yes, yes, yes. I'm going to give you a good example right now of relativity. He says the story of creation were 6 24-hour days. I know it's like playing with your brain, right? How could that be? 10 million years, 6 days, it doesn't make sense. I'm going to give you an example for you to think about, because I'm not attached. You don't have to believe me, but I'm going to give you a good example. In my book, I speak about a woman who walked into my room from nowhere. I hope you remember, if you read the book, you remember this example of what's happened to me in my life. A woman walked literally from nowhere. The room filled up with white light, and a woman appeared in my room like that. She walked over to me, and she was physical. She was in a full body. She looked to be about 35 years old, 33, 35 years old. It was deliberate. It was for right now, the end of days. She touched me on my cheek, and then she turned around and walked out, gone. The whole thing transpired. It felt like a minute, but it was more accurately 15 seconds. So in 15 seconds, a woman, 35 years old, let's guess, 35, walks in. She's there. She touches me. She said, I would never hurt you, looked at me right in the eyes, turned around, walked out. She's gone. But what if? Let's play the what if game. Because he's non-physical. This woman came from the non-physical realm, appeared, disappeared. But what if, God forbid, she dropped dead in my room, in my bedroom? And the doctors came, and the ambulance came, took her to the doctors. The doctors estimated her bones and her body, her physicalness, was 35 years old. Extrapolate. Do you see? She came from nowhere like this, 35 years old. She left into nowhere. But if she had stayed here, she only existed for a second like that. But in your estimation, as a scientist, as a doctor, you check her flesh, you check her cheeks, you check her bones. She's 35. But she wasn't here for 35 years. Gives you something to think about, doesn't it? He just said, yes, it does. If it doesn't, you're not a thinking person. All I can tell you is, we don't do anything without him. I am acutely aware of his voice. He knows everything about whoever you are. I don't know who you are. Some of you I know. The person who sent me the 2 questions, thank you. You elicited this whole conversation. He knows everything. It's not knowable to us. He's just Hashem. Everything comes from him. And the 6 days of creation, he tells me, is his story, his explanation, his Torah. Capital H-I-S. His Torah. He wrote that story. He says it's true. I believe him. I have no reason not to believe him. I have plenty of reasons not to believe people. So regarding dinosaurs, they existed, and their fossils are very, very old. And he did say there are people online who question whether dinosaurs ever existed, and did they walk the face of the earth when humans walked the face of the earth? And he says, yes, indeed, they did. So it elicited another conversation. I hope you're gathering that I only give you a pin dot of our conversations, a little bit. I know so much more than I'm able to share right now with you. Adam and Chava were enormous. There's some literature about it online, but I don't read the literature. The rabbis read the literature, the Bible scholars, the very worldly people read the literature. And I read somewhere that the estimates were that Adam and Chava were 10 to 15 feet tall. Huge. They were huge. He won't tell me exactly how tall they were, but he says they were physically different than we are now. Pre-flood, physicality was different than it is now. And then we had a conversation about Noah's Ark and dinosaurs. So I guessed, I said, so dinosaurs went the way of pre-flood. He said, no. He allowed some species to go forward, but he deliberately eliminated, he just said many. So there was a conversation I read online, and it said, well, if Noah had an ark and he had to take dinosaurs on this little ark, they wouldn't have fit, and blah, 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 blah. So I said, Hashem, good point. And you know what he said? Eggs. Works for me. I hope you enjoyed this. And thank you for your questions, person who sent me the email. I hope this was insightful. The world is round, spherical. He's in charge. Dinosaurs existed. They walked the earth with humans who were much bigger. And he also said, by the way, we lived a lot longer and we didn't age like this. And he just said the words, it's coming. Redemption. We won't age anymore. And I wonder about that. I'm not in it for that, but that's exciting. The story of creation is real, and he says prophecy is true. So I hope this is uplifting. And if you haven't already, the Torah part 2 is waiting for you. God bless you. I'm sending you my love and affection from Israel. God bless you.